Welcome to Science Access. In today's class, I'll be teaching you how to calculate molar mass and relative molecular mass. I'll also teach you how to calculate a mole, or how to convert mole to mass and mass to mole. Now let's start with how to calculate the molar mass. Molar mass, as you know, is the mass of 1 mole of any substance, or of a particular substance. Now let's take a look at this. As I said earlier, the molar mass is the mass of 1 mole of a substance, and the unit of molar mass is actually gram per mole. Now, when you look at the periodic table, let's take oxygen as example, you realize that you have the mass number at the top and the atomic number at the bottom. There's a slight difference anyway between atomic mass and mass number, but we won't go into details. Just know that the mass number is the number of proton plus neutron. All right. Now, note that the 16 here is actually the mass of this atom. So how do I calculate the molar mass of this atom? It's simple. It's 16 gram per mole. So the molar mass of oxygen atom is actually 16 gram per mole. What about if I now ask you to calculate the molar mass of a molecule of oxygen? Molecule of oxygen is actually present as O2. So the molar mass in this case is actually 16 times 2, which is 32 gram per mole. But note this. If I ask you to calculate the relative molecular mass of oxygen molecule, for example, there is no unit. So the answer is simply what? 16 times what? 2. Which is equal to what? 32. So the molecular mass, or the relative molecular mass of oxygen, is actually 32. Note that this value 16 that is here is a constant and will always be given in questions. All right, so let's take a look at another example. Let's assume that you are asked to calculate the molar mass of ozone. Ozone is O3. So how many atom of oxygen do we have here? We have 3 atoms. So we know that one atom of oxygen has a mass number of what? 16. Okay, we have 16 times 3, which is 48. So if you are being asked to calculate, if you are calculating for the molar mass, it becomes 48 gram per what? Mole. But if you are calculating for the relative molecular mass, in this case, it becomes what? 48. All right. So the relative molecular mass does not actually have a unit. All right. Now let's take a look at another question. Now let's calculate the molar mass of H2SO4. H, as we are aware, this is a constant. As I said earlier, the mass number is always, you can always check your periodic table for the mass number. All right, so this is a constant. So H is 1. Now we have 2 atoms of H in this compound. So times 2 plus X, we have just 1 S, and the mass number is actually 32. 32 plus O, how many? O is 16, right? Times 4. Times 4. And our answer is 2 plus 32 plus 64. And our final answer is actually what? 98 gram per mole. So this is actually the molar mass of tetrahydrofolvic acid. All right, please now note this. That if you are now asked to calculate the relative molecular mass of this compound, you follow this same format, but there is no unit, so you have to remove this. So this is actually now becomes what? The relative molecular mass without what? A unit. All right. So now let's quickly you can take this as assignment before we go to the next subtopic. All right. Calculate this. Now note that Na is 23, S is 32, and O is actually 16. So can calculate the molar mass and the relative molecular mass of this, as well as Na2CO3. Remember, this and this you already have here, but for C is 12. So you have the constants that you need, so you can drop your answer in the comment section. Let's take a look at how to convert mole to mass and mass to mole. Now, how to convert mole to mass and mass to mole. Let's assume that you are given this simple question. Calculate the mass of 2.5 mole of aluminium. And aluminium, the molar mass of aluminium or the mass number of aluminium was 27. So, how do you convert mole to mass? Number of mole. Formula is number of mole is equals to given mass. Some textbook will use the word reacting mass. The same thing all over molar mass. In this case, number of mole you are given is 2.5. The molar mass is 27 gram per mole, and you are going to calculate for the mass. Okay, so let's now put 2.5 is equal to 27 all over x. Now you can do your cross multiplication. Use this to multiply this. Use this to multiply this. Now I have x is equals to 2.5 times 27, and our final answer is 67.5. Now let's assume that you want to convert. You are given the mass. Now let's just calculate the number of mole in 67.5 gram of aluminium. Note that aluminium is what? 27. Now in this case, this is the actual mass number. In this case, what do? You use the same formula to get what? The number of mole. Now in this case, the number of mole is equal to, the formula is given mass. The mass that we are given is, let me just write it here, given mass all over molar mass. 67.5 all over 27, and our answer will be 2.5 what? Mole. So you can easily convert from mole to gram and from gram to mole. Assignment is being given on the board. Do the answer, solve the simple question and drop your answer in the comment section. Thank you for watching.